Hi guys, Keith Myers here. I wanted to share with you a little drill that I've been practicing that I think is fun. I think it's very useful. It actually comes from Silat, but works great with the Bata too. So the purpose of this drill is to try to teach you, is for fighting multiple attackers. In our Silat, it's always assumed there's multiple attackers. So everything is changing angles in footwork to face multiple attackers. Well, it's the same thing in a faction fight too. You had to worry about multiple attackers, so that fits. And so I call this drill corner to corner and wall to wall. That's not what my teacher called it. This is just one of many footwork drills we've done. But to help me remember it and to tell it to you, I like to think of it as corner to corner and wall to wall. And you can see, hopefully you can see, I've got a square laid out here. In our Silat system, the footwork is primarily based on a square, unlike a lot of Silat and Filipino martial arts that are based on more of a triangle. Because again, we're thinking more of multiple attackers. You have all four directions, okay? So let me show you first, when you get the footwork motion, I'm going to do it with punches, right? So I'm assuming I'm standing in the center of the square, neutral position. My opponents are at the corners, not in front of me, right? So I'm here. I'm going to turn and I'm going to face that opponent. Bam. And then I'm going to turn and face this opponent. Bam. And this one. And notice as I'm turning, I'm kind of loading this hip. I'm loading this hip. I'm loading this hip. So I do 3 strikes. 1, 2, 3. Now I've loaded this hip. So I'm going to pivot on the ball of this foot. I'm going to spin 90 degrees. I turn. Boop. I punch again. I'm going to step through. This is the wall-to-wall part. I punch again. Now I've loaded this hip as I bring this down. So I'm going to spin, spin, throw one more, and then as I step up, I've loaded this hip. Now I'm in this orientation again, and I'm going to pivot towards that corner. 1, 2, 3. Now I've loaded this hip. So I spin, punch, I step through, punch, I've loaded this hip, spin, punch, now I step up, I'm here, this is my orientation again, 1, 2, 3. So that's the corner to corner part, and the spinning is the wall to wall part. So you can think of it as a 3 count and a 3 count, 2 3 counts in one drill, right? So again, it's corner to corner, 1, 2, 3, and then wall to wall. 1, 2, 3, boom, reset. 1, 2, 3, spin. 1, 2, 3, bang, reset. And again, the idea is you're facing multiple attackers. I got to turn and face this guy. I step, but then I got to turn and face that guy. Or I'm here, I've dealt with this one, and now there's this one. And then maybe there's this one, and I turn this way. So it's that load this hip and spin. Load this hip and spin is kind of the idea. Or thinking in terms of changing your angles quickly for multiple opponents. So, get the stick. So, you can play with this. You can come up with all kinds of things. But just a basic, stand in a neutral position. Here's my stick. And I take my position. I'm facing that corner. So I'm going to do all stick punches. Lead, reverse, lead, boom. Now I've loaded this hip, right? So I spin, lead, I step, reverse. I've loaded this hip. I spin, reverse, I step. Now I'm going to face that way. 1, 2, 3. I've loaded this hip. So I turn, bam, bam. I turn, bam, boom. Now I'm back here. 1, 2, 3. I've loaded this hip. I turn, hit, hit. I turn, hit. And you could vary it. I mean, sometimes I'm doing a lead punch, sometimes a reverse stick punch. Play with it, vary it. Second version is all thrashes. So again, I'm here, I'm square. I'm going to face that guy. Boop. So I start with my lead thrash. Thrash this guy. Thrash this guy. Thrash this guy. Now my weight's on this foot. So now I'm going to spin. Guy's coming from that direction. So I cover myself. Thrash, right? And then I'm going to step forward, but I'm moving forward, so I'm not going to do a thrash. So I like to do strike. Now this guy's coming from behind me. Thrash. And I step forward and I pivot. 1, 2, 3. Now my weight's on this foot. Thrash. Hit. Thrash. I step forward. Boom. 1, 2, 3. Boom. Bam. Boom. Here. 1, 2, 3. Whop. Pow. Whop. Step forward. 1, 2, 3. Whop. Pow. Whop. Pow. 1, 2. So you get the idea. It just cycles. Facing multiple directions. You can combine the leads and the thrashes. Right? So I can do, or the stick punches and the thrashes. So I can do 1, 2, 3. Then it makes sense if I'm going to turn. I'm going to thrash. I'm going to step, hit, thrash, step. 1, 2, 3. Boom. Thrash, hit, thrash, step up. 1, 2, 3. Boom. Just start playing with it. I'll also sometimes do boom, 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 thrash, bust the anthill, thrash, bust the anthill, turn, and then bust the anthill loads me here. Then I've got bam, 2, 3, thrash, bust the anthill, thrash, bust the anthill, turn, 1, 2, 3, pow, bust the anthill, pow, bust the anthill, turn back. And so you just keep it going. You can throw in various things. Just corner to corner, wall to wall.